you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. What's good? It's your girl Nisi here, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, Mr. Keithlee is trending once again. So when I first started this channel, I've done a video on him when he was eating like raw salmon and there was a worm in it. But today, guys, he's come over to the pond. So he's based in America and he's come to the UK and he's doing a tour in the UK and in Europe. And yeah, he was saying a lot about our food. So shout out to my viewers. I get a lot of people watching from America, South Africa, the UK, obviously. And I've had some Canadian people, so shout out to Canada. But yeah, so now on TikTok, there's a versus American food versus the UK food. Now, one thing I'll agree on is the English food is quite bland. And if you go to Manchester, London, there's loads of different takeaway shops because our cities are very diverse. Like you can literally find every single person from around the world in London or in Manchester. Manchester, a quick fact, is actually the most diverse city in the UK. So you would think it was London because London's bigger, but it's actually Manchester. So shout out to Manchester. But yeah, I will agree our food is quite bland, but the places he went, you know what I mean, the food was gonna be trash, bro. Like, come on. So in a way, people are dragging him because it's like he did it on purpose. And I remember when Ice Spice was doing like a US food versus the UK, she didn't like a lot of our stuff, which is fine, you know what I mean? But like I said, there's a lot of takeaways and basically we just mix it up. So you can't go wrong with a full English. I don't eat pork, but again, I mix it up, do it a bit of the Jamaican way, the Nigerian way. I'll put some pictures. So this is a sample of how I like my full English, but usually it's more. I couldn't find one. So it's usually like, you know, the hash browns, obviously the beans, we gotta have the beans. I eat vegetarian sausages. I usually have the turkey bacon. So, you know what I mean? There's ways to jazz it up. But obviously the traditional way is pork sausages, black pudding, mushrooms, obviously beans, slice of toast, you know what I mean? Things like that, fried tomatoes. But yeah, you can't go wrong with a English breakfast. You literally can find that anywhere. Like even because I do a lot of traveling, even when I travel to Europe, there's always like little cafes that will do a full English breakfast. A Sunday roast, one of my favorites. Cottage pie. I'm a big fan of like pies and stuff. So that's me right there. But yeah, let's watch the clip of him talking about our food and yeah, people dragging him basically.
Me and my family are officially in London, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so the first thing we having is breakfast. I got it. Let's try it. Rated 1 through 10. We didn't spend anything because this is from the hotel. On top of being here for the food tour, we actually got invited by Netflix to come and watch behind the scenes of Bridgerton. So the first couple of days isn't technically food tour, but I'm gonna try and sneak in just what we eat. So under here is a full English breakfast. At first glance, to me, it looks like a normal breakfast, but the longer you look at it, the more things that I don't recognize start becoming apparent. So we got eggs, hash brown, sausage, a mushroom, bacon, beans, tomatoes, and black pudding or blood sausage. Then we got a bakery basket, Danish croissant, toast, orange juice, whole grain mustard, brown sauce, mayonnaise, and another brown sauce. Start with the eggs. It's like a soft scrambled egg. I love a soft scrambled egg. It's salted well. It's an egg. It's cooked very well in my opinion too. 6 out of 10. Hash brown. Very reminiscent to McDonald's hash brown, even though it's a lot greasier and a lot less salty. 4 out of 10. It is very crispy and there's a lot of potato on the inside, but it's very greasy. Bacon. It's very thick cut hickory smoked. What do you rate bacon? 7 out of 10. It's bacon. Now just those 3 items I can eat and it don't feel like I'm not at home. But this is where it start getting different. I'm not gonna eat the beans just by themselves because it's just beans. I'm gonna put the beans on the toast. Beans on toast. The bread is definitely stale. The tomatoes kind of taste like they were based in ketchup and a very like sweet ketchup too. It's very mushy. In my opinion, there's no flavor other than like I said, a sweet ketchup, no salt, no seasoning. In my opinion, this is extremely low. 1 out of 10. A mushroom. And as a mushroom lover, I'm not really sure this is what it's supposed to look like, or I'm just not familiar with what type of mushroom this is. I normally wouldn't just bite into a mushroom by itself. So just to give a fair shake. I'm gonna eat it like with some combinations of other things. Some eggs, a little bite of hash brown, a little bacon. Just to be fair, this is what I would do at home, not mushroom. It's just a mushroom. It don't feel like they did anything to it. It's just a mushroom. I'm not gonna rate it. Sausage. It tastes like a pork sausage. It don't really taste like anything but pork to me. I was expecting like sage or some kind of herb because there are like speckles of herbs in here. But to me, I don't really taste anything but just pork. And I'm not a huge fan. 4 out of 10. Last but not least, the black pudding or blood sausage. According to Google, this typically contains blood, fat, cereal, and seasonings. I'm gonna go completely non-biased, and I know this is something different. This is something new. I'm gonna just try it. Open-minded. It immediately tastes like blood. It tastes like iron. I've had liver and things that taste like iron, so it wasn't the iron taste that kind of threw me off. The chunks of other things is extremely unsettling for me. I fully understand that's a thing that people enjoy, and it's an acquired taste, or it could be an acquired taste. I haven't acquired that taste by any means. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like this is kind of the equivalent to chitlins. Like how some people in some cultures really enjoy chitlins, and you can go to somebody's house in the South and they're gonna tear some chitlins up. But not everybody in America eat chitlins. I feel like this could be that. I feel like not everybody in England might eat that, but the people who do eat it really enjoy it. But for me, it's a 0 out of 10. I'm not gonna let this be my first impression of English food because again, it's hotel food. I'm still extremely optimistic of what this food tour holds, and I can't wait. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
Keithlee, if you're going to come to London and you're going to eat a full English breakfast, why are you eating beans one for one and individually? And why are you not putting a bit of everything on the fork and eating it in one? You're not supposed to eat everything individually. You're supposed to add your own salt and season it to how you like. You're supposed to add your own sauce. If you want hot sauce, like you've said in one video, add hot sauce. We all add sauce when we want it, okay? And I don't see any butter on any of your toast. What's going on? You're having full breakfasts at a 5-star hotel. You need to go to Ends for full breakfast. Then when you go to Terry's, you're eating beans individually. What's going on? Please link up with someone from England to help show you the way, because this is not fair. And you're going to start something with the Americans and the British people like it is on Twitter. So please someone help Keithlee.
Jeez, she had time for Keith today. You know what's funny? She doesn't seem like, the typical British, blonde hair, blue eyes. She seems kind of like Mediterranean, you know what I mean? Like a bit Asian-y. And she was going off, but she had a point. Like, bro, why are you eating everything separate? He was complaining. So first of all, he was eating everything separate. Then he was complaining it's too hot. Fam, you're lucky, because usually if you go to Greg's, that pie, that pasta is lukewarm. So you're lucky your shit was hot. What else did she go on about? Yeah, but just eating everything separate. With an English breakfast, you gotta, you know what I mean, a bit of sausage, a bit of beans, you gotta eat it up, Keith, come on. But yeah, she was not happy. She had time for him today, and even at the end she was like, yo, like, don't start something between the US and the UK, And I find like the US and the UK, they're like cousins, but when you're like the bigger cousin, so America's like the bigger one that picks on the little cousin. So Americans love picking on the UK, like they don't rate us, especially like the black Europeans. They don't rate us, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's get into some more reactions.
This is a message to the black British creators who are incredibly eloquently defending the cuisine of our home country against Keithlee's criticisms. I just want to say, firstly, thank you for your service. I think it's great to have people speaking up. But secondly, why don't we just let him? Why don't we just let him? If he wants to eat the world's worst, driest fry-up and then complain that each of the ingredients tastes like the thing it's made from, let him. If he wants to never know the joy of hot buttered toast with baked beans and loads of cheddar cheese, let him. He's just a bloke. And quite frankly, we've got to save our energy. We've got to save our energy, because I've seen all the reform idiots being interviewed on TV, plus Liz bloody Truss saying, oh, we need a MAGA in the UK. Like, we need our energy. Save the fight, all right? Leave him to eat his orange, over-salted food. And
now that the Americans are gone, I can eat my beans on toast in peace, yeah? In peace, babe. Nobody's saying what a weird combo. Nobody's saying what's the recipe, yeah? Nobody making videos of recreating the beans on toast with the wrong ingredients. Do you know what I mean? I can just enjoy myself. Judgment-free zone, do you know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, TikTok is now a safe space for us Brits. Like, I just feel so safe. I feel so safe and protected. We'll miss you, my Shaylas. All the best.
You know what the funniest thing about this whole Keithlee in London thing is, which has been living rent-free in my head? It's not the fact that he's gone to a bunch of, like, completely random London restaurants. Like, I live in London, have done for 5 years. I have never heard of any of the places he's been to. If you turn up to a random restaurant and it's empty at a meal time, it's probably not going to be very nice. It's also not the fact that Americans are, like, reveling in it and take it as some hard proof that British food is bad, even though Keithlee is just a random guy who reviews restaurants. Like, he's not qualified at all. It's the fact that he said, oh my God, this pork sausage tastes like pork. And Americans are like, oh my God, what the hell? You shouldn't be able to, like, taste the ingredients. What do you think French food is like? What do you think Italian food is like? If you think tasting the ingredients is a bad thing and there's a lack of seasoning in British food, go to some of the best culinary places in the world and you will hate it. American food is such, like, it's so indicative of America as a country. It's all like, everything is just so over the top, and every single spice and sauce and whatever, everything is covered in everything. Like, it's so over the top and glittery and all the bells and whistles. Good food is simple. Like, go to a high-end Michelin star restaurant, go to some of the best restaurants in the world. The food, the flavors, the ingredients are simple and good quality. Food is not meant to be this explosion of every single spice and flavoring and powder you can imagine. I watch quite a lot of, like, American food stuff on TikTok, and it's always like, yeah, to the chicken add smoked paprika, hot paprika, cumin, Cajun, cayenne pepper, salt, pepper, mustard seeds, onion, garlic. I'm like, you don't need to put that much stuff on chicken. If the chicken is good quality, then it's fine. You don't like chicken, then you don't like flavors. Imagine I ate a steak and I went, oh my God, this tastes like steak. You'd be like, what the hell? British food is simple. It's also, I'm not saying British food is, like, amazing. I would never go to another European country and go to a British restaurant. But American food is certainly not any better. It's almost like an inferiority complex of, like, they need it to be better than British food, because British food is just so, it's weird and insecure. I'm sick of it.
Yo, Keithlee! If you guys aren't aware, Keithlee is currently in London and he's trying British food. It's over. It's over. Some of you are really raised on beans and toast. Coming to the UK is one of the worst mistakes you could ever make, especially if you're coming here to try food. What food is there to try? What do you want to try? I hate to be the one to say it, but, like, British people don't even wash their chicken, bro. And UK foods are such an abomination, bro, that the only restaurant that this guy gave a positive review on has been a Jamaican restaurant. This guy ordered jerk chicken with some Jamaican burrito, fam. I can't wait for this guy to try chicken from a chicken shop. Matter of fact, I want him to try Pepe's. Some of you guys were raised on this. And this guy gives critical reviews. He's not even chatting shit. He's been all over the world trying food, being genuine about it. And I can't wait for him to crush your last dream on about your chicken fillet burgers tasting like shit. I can't wait for Keithlee to try Sunday roast dinner, bro. Nah! This guy might not come out of here alive. Hey, at least he's never gonna come back to the UK. At least he experienced it.
Yo, that younger, he didn't tell no lies. Like, a lot of people over here don't wash their chicken, but I don't think that's just a UK thing. I feel like white people in America probably don't wash their meat. Let me know in the comments below if you're Caucasian, like, you're American, Canadian, like, do you wash your meat? So we're not gonna just leave that to be a UK thing, but yeah. If I was telling someone to come over for the first time, I wouldn't recommend anything chicken. I would do the Sunday roast, like, that's us hands down, or a good chippy, so a good fish and chips, mushy peas or gravy. Definitely that would be, like, my go-to. Obviously we have our little snacks, you know, like crumpets and things like that. But yeah, he told no lies in his thing. Like, a lot of British stuff is bland, but again, you have to, like, mix British stuff with with your culture. So obviously my British thing will be seasoned well and things like that because I'm Jamaican, of Jamaican heritage. My partner's Nigerian, so then he'll mix it with a bit of the Nigeria. So it's going to be peppery, it's going to be spicy, you get. But at the same time, that younger, he told no lies.
Do you know what is so strange about this whole Keithlee thing, right? It's not even the fact that the guy... I love Keithlee, by the way. It's not even the fact that the guy thinks that Paris is in the United Kingdom. No. It's not that. It's not the fact that Americans think they're so unique, so funny in every comment section saying, you know, the whole brickle brackle, fizzy wizzy, whatever the hell. It's not that. Although that is very jarring. We've seen it a million times now. Like, give it a rest. Okay? Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not that. It's not the fact that they think our food is crap, because, you know, food is subjective, it's cultural, whatever. Like, I will die on the hill that British food, I love British food. I do. Of course, we have some real horrible things, but that's just like any culture, you know? And British food is multicultural food. But on top of that, I do love quintessential, old school British food, you know? Bangers and mash. I'm sorry, that is an elite meal. Pie. Like, I'm from the north of England. A good steak and ale pie. Mwah. Chef's kiss, right? Even a fish and chips. A good chippy. Yes, okay? But yeah, our food is good. And our food tastes like food. But I wouldn't expect a nation that seasons its eggs like it's a barbecue brisket to understand, okay? But anyway, I digress. What is really getting me about this whole British food is crap discourse that the Americans are literally getting their life with this week is the fact that, why are we being so dramatic about baked beans? Like, it's baked beans. Why are we acting like baked beans are this acquired taste, very strong flavor? It's literally the most inoffensive flavor. Like, I guess some people don't like it. Maybe it's a texture thing. Maybe they just don't like the slightly sweet, tomatoey thing. Some people don't like saucy food. I get that. But can we just be so serious, please? Like, I'm seeing like Americans doing beans on toast, or like jacket potato with beans and cheese, and acting as though they're doing an actual bush tucker trial. It's so strange. It's so bizarre. Honestly, get a grip, man.
I loved that, babe. A fellow northern girl, you know what I mean? Because even with us, there's a divide, you know. You've got London in the south, and you got like us like Manchester, Mancunians up north. They come for us sometimes. Like, I remember one time I went to London, and we're talking South London, Croydon, shout out to y'all. I went to somewhere, I think it was like a chippy, and I was like, oh, can I have pie and chips? Because I'm a big pie girl. If you seen the way this man looked at me, he was so disgusted. He's like, we don't do pie down here, that's up north. I was just like, oh, I'll be damned, obviously then, because I'm from up north. But I don't know, I just thought the UK, I thought they did pies everywhere in it. But like, in one of the videos I'm gonna play, they did say there's particular places you can go for certain things. If you want a good curry, there's a certain place to go. So for Manchester, if you want a good curry, you'd go like Wimslow Road. That's like the curry mile, it's called. So, you know what I mean? A certain place, if you want a good fry up, or a good chippy, I would probably suggest go Salford, which is more Caucasian, more white, old school. So I just feel like Keithlee was just in the wrong ends, especially when it comes to London. There's so many parts, and I just think he went to the wrong places. And he had his English breakfast in a hotel. Like, come on. Doesn't matter if you're in America, the UK, Europe, Jamaica. Listen, the hotel food isn't not gonna be like a shop. I'm not talking like just any corner shop. I'm talking like an established place. Of course, the hotel food's gonna be trash. I remember when I went Greece a year ago, I skipped breakfast because the breakfast was terrible. Like, that's how bad it is. But then I went on road. I went to like support the locals, and the food was better. Like, I didn't eat. So I was half bored. That's breakfast and dinner. I didn't eat there. The food, we looked in, me and my partner, we looked at the food, and we literally ate out every night. It's a good job we only went there for 4 days. But when I say the food was trash, the food was trash. So I feel like that's what's happened with Keithlee. He stayed in a hotel. The hotel was probably okay. Nice, maybe, I don't know. But some hotels, aka a lot of hotels, the food is trash. When you look at people's review, they're like, oh, the bedroom was nice, the pool was da-da-da-da-da. But when it comes to the food, they're like, nah, they need to do better, which they do.
Keithlee is 6:11 in the morning. As an American who eats British food on the daily basis, I want to let you know that British breakfast, wherever you're at, they did you dirty. please go somewhere else and try it. Go to somewhere that costs $7 in the middle of London that looks like crazy. Like wherever you are, that toast bite was not supposed to last that long. The beans are seasoned. The tomatoes are there's fresh. They use fresh ingredients. They got over on you, bro. Like I know it's an acquired taste. The blood pudding, they all right. I'm trying to defend it because I like it. The blood pudding is good. But they did you dirty. It didn't even look fully cooked. They wilding on you. Please try British breakfast one more time before you leave, but at a better place.
I like that. Not American. He's like, I eat British food on the daily. First of all, I need to know, with him being an American, where does he eat British food on the daily? Because you know what I love, let's say, about America? You know, this Chinatown, you have, you know, the Italy, I don't know what theirs is called, but you have like Little Italy, I think it's called. In Miami, you have Little Haiti. So, you know, the Cubans, the Jamaicans, like there's always small places where you can go and get food. So I'm sure there's probably like a little UK spot over there. And I love that. Not him bigging up the breakfast just because of the black pudding. Like, sir, that's pig's blood. Like, listen, one of my friends that I went to college with, she used to like go off like, oh my gosh, black pudding's the one, it's so, and I'm just like, it's pig's blood. And she's like, no, you've got to fry it a certain way, you got to season it like, I was just like, but it's still pig's blood. Like, you don't see me out here eating chicken's blood, like, no. But yeah, whoever suggested the place where he ate the food, well, it was the hotel, but he should have went out. Even how he started the video, like, this is, you know, the UK full breakfast. It costs nothing because it's in our hotel. And it's just like, there you go. You didn't even pay for it. Like, come on.
Since Keithlee is in England, I'm seeing a lot of videos making fun of British food. Last year, I spent 4 weeks traveling across the UK and did not find one thing I thought was bad. Here are 5 reasons I believe British food gets a bad rap. First, eating foods in hotels. Has anyone in the history of ever had delicious food at a hotel breakfast? No, it will obviously be bland and disgusting. Second, people tend to eat food that is closest to the tourist sites because that is what is convenient. This is especially true when traveling with children. These locations do not have to be good since they will get foot traffic simply by being closest to the crowds. Third, they have not explored all the other cuisines that exist in the UK. Indian, African, and Caribbean foods are prevalent in the big cities, as well as many European restaurants like Italian and French. Some of you might say that these foods are not British foods. I hate to break it to you, but American food isn't really that good. Everything that is most delicious in this country comes from immigrants or Black Americans. So if you just eat beans on toast or roast dinners, you might get bored easily. Fourth, they don't take into consideration that they are in a cold country. That means much of the cuisine is meant to be warming and comforting. If you're visiting during the summer, you might not be craving a pie with gravy and mash. Why don't you get the fish and chips instead? Lastly, Brits love their condiments, and I think many Americans traveling there don't take this into consideration. Mustards, jams, brown sauce, pickle, vinegar, these are just a few items that really add a ton of flavor to a meal. This is a hill that I will die on, but feel free to tell me if you disagree in the comments.
Oh, guys, did you see those clips? Like, that food was looking yummy. So I like that she did that and just showed a different, like, range of foods that we do have on offer. Listen, nowhere's perfect. Obviously, a lot of UK people are like, well, American foods usually got a lot of E numbers, usually like little rat labs, because everything's, like, tested over there before it gets, like, issued through the rest of the world. Obviously, we all know America's got that good soul food, but yeah, obviously their stuff is heavily seasoned, and I know there's a lot of people that don't like heavily seasoned food. I do. Like, everything gotta be hot. Like, the other day I made mash, and yeah, I was eating it, I was like, it's spicy. Like, if I'm not doing this when I'm eating, I'm not interested. So that's me. But then there's people who are more bland or who prefer like salads, salmon, you know, seafood. Everyone's just got their thing. But he did rate like a Jamaican shop really well, and it's just like, bro, like, you're not gonna come to the UK and rate a Jamaican shop. No offense to my people, but it beats the point, you know what I mean? But shout out to them. But at the same time, I'm just like, because me, I don't eat Caribbean food out here. If I'm not in yard, if I'm not in Jamaica eating it, I literally don't, because the shops, you eat it and it's just trash. You know what I mean? The Jamaican food looks nice in America when I watch like clips and stuff, but especially from Manchester, I do not eat Jamaican like takeaway.
I hate to say it, but Keithlee's comment section is the reason why Americans get disrespected outside of the States. We Brits have the same incredibly diverse mix of nationalities like the US. We have Jamaicans, Indians, Pakistanis, insert country here, Ethiopians, Nigerians. People have flocked here as well as the US in the hopes of a better life. Education, employment, whatever the reasons may be. Remaining ignorant is free, and one cannot waste energy trying to educate the careless. So now I'm wondering if it's a surprise that we Brits don't just eat English breakfast every single day. There's a whole mix of cultures, and people are commenting, don't eat British food. We have the same situation. There are some British foods, I imagine, like black pudding, the English breakfast, tea, all these things. I don't even know the extent of them. And there are American foods. Insert them here. I'm 100% sure that if I go and search the most ordered food via Uber Eats, it'll be something like tikka masala, which is obviously Asian. It's not gonna be black pudding. We have the same food that you guys have. We have pasta, tacos, pizza, sushi, Jamaican rice and peas. And I'm just thinking, I don't understand where the idea is that we're different. Anyways, let me enjoy my scenic walk and stop ranting on the internet.
Keithlee has come to the UK to try different foods, and Americans are in the comments talking about you went all the way to the UK and you're not going to try traditional British foods. First of all, my man is in London, a melting pot of different cultures. Do you really think he's just going to come here and eat beans on toast, full English, bangers and mash, steak pie, cottage pie, Cornish pasty, Yorkshire pudding, crumpets, Sunday roast? I am born here, lived here all my life, and I can count on my hand where I can find all of that shit in London. He is being bombarded right now to try this place called Spudbro's, a food truck that I have discovered today. And I had one little scroll, and it is literally jacket potato. Potato, cheese, beans, tuna. That's it. Which you can get in literally any cafe, breakfast cafe. And looking at their demographic of customers, they don't look like me. All Americans want to be able to do is run around and say American food is better than British food, when I thought Keithlee reviewed small businesses.
Goody, man, like goody, fill up, mix up, goody. Now, with his clip, he was making me laugh. So obviously, like I said, London's very diverse. And when he looked up that Spud place and he was just like, just jacket potato. Listen, y'all are not gonna come for beans on toast with cheese, jacket potato. Listen, those things there, yeah, they go off. But it's not really a meal, it's like a snack. Because, you know what I mean, you can't get full off a jacket potato. My kids love it. That's it's an old school thing. I love it, but it's more of a snack. You know what I mean? It's just something in the meantime before dinner's ready. But yeah, I guess obviously he said this was a place that just does jacket potato. You have Subway that just does sandwiches, but obviously different things, they mix it up. So listen, don't knock it until you've tried it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, why is Keithlee flying all the way from America just to try jacket potato?
I know the weirdest thing about this Keithlee situation at the moment, like the strangest thing, it's not about the beans on toast, it's not about the arguments about salt and pepper or hot sauce or too much seasoning or not enough seasoning or fresh. All of that is irrelevant. The weirdest thing is every single video that he has posted, right, he describes British food as hot. And no, he's not talking about pepper hot, he's talking about temperature hot.
Hot. All this food still cooking. Shit, hot. It's hot too. He said, do I need to reheat it? Boy, it's still cooking.
Firstly, why is no one talking about this? Why am I the only one that's picked this up? Or am I just a strange person? Secondly, do the Americans get served lukewarm food? Is that a thing over there? Because why is your instinctive, descriptive word to describe us as having temperature hot food? Because surely that's just the standard. I've never gone into a restaurant and thought like my description is going to be like, oh yeah, the steak is hot. Oh yeah, the chips are hot. Came out lukewarm or anything less than piping hot, I would be sending it back because that means it's sat on the surface after it's been cooked for a while. And before anyone comes for me, no, I am not saying that British food is better than American food. I personally think it is because I'm British. That's what I grew up on, okay? But I am just genuinely curious as to what temperature your food is served if this big food critic influencer who goes around tasting all of your foods, descriptive word is hot. I'm genuinely curious. And I can hear the comments now, like, you have hot food served to you because your country is cold. Fantastic. But it means that the food was sat on the surface for ages before it was served to you. So I need some answers, please. Thank you.
Okay guys, so that's it for this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're not from the UK, what do you think of the UK food? Was Keith in the right or was he wrong? Please like, comment, subscribe and share this video. Stay safe and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.